You're listening to Murder Not Murdering with Erin,
and Autumn,
a true crime podcast about murder and murdering.
but we are not murderers.
Well, hi, Autumn. It's been a minute.
I know.
And this time it wasn't my catastrophes.
No, for once it was not. It was just so busy. Life in the summertime, you just never know what's going to come up.
Yeah, I'm just glad that it has nothing to do with me this time around.
Yes. And everything to do with me.
Blame Autumn. Send us your nasty grams to Autumn.
I know I've gotten quite a few actually. We're really sorry. We actually are very flattered that you guys have missed us.
Or that you even listen. I mean, honestly.
Yes, honestly, that you have listened to all of our episodes and are bummed that there isn't a new one out.
Well, good news is we're going to try to double up on some recordings so that we'll have a bunch and we don't get stuck behind anymore.
Yes, that is our goal for all of you lovely listeners.
So I have a case that I'm excited about because it has a update that's pretty spectacular. And I'm excited. I'm like horrified at what yours is going to be because you've already given me the tiniest of warnings.
I know
that you just said you're not going to like mine. And that's all you said. So now I'm horrified.
I'm laughing because it's not, the case is not funny at all, but I'm just laughing because that is literally what I told you.
You're like, you just need to know that you're not going to like this.
Right.
Oh, cool.
I feel like I have to give you that kind of warning as a friend.
I appreciate the warning. I'm always like, warn me if it's kid stuff.
Right. So then you guessed
right.
So
it's going to be horrible kid stuff.
It's not on the level that it's hard to listen to. That's a lie. I don't want to give away too much. So
yeah. All right.
The case I'm going to tell you about is very, very important and it's local. So I hope that we get some listeners for this one. Truly, I do.
Yeah, mine's not super local, but it is kind of a few states away, but not too far.
I thought you just said kind of in Europe, and I was like, that's not local at all, friend.
Yeah, Europe is super close to Seattle. Oh my god,
we're practically there. Just close your eyes.
We're neighbors with Europe.
We're just that cool. Come to Seattle, everyone.
Anywho. So I'm just going to jump right in.
Yes. I cannot wait. I'm here for it.
This is not taking place in Europe. So I am so sorry, y'all. It is not a international case, but it is in a far off land called Montana.
I mean, Montana could be considered its own country.
It's very exotic.
It is very exotic.
Yeah. Okay. This is the Montana double homicide.
Ooh.
Lloyd Dwayne Bogle was an 18-year-old U.S. Air Force airman who was stationed at Malmstrom Air Force Base when he met and fell in love with 16-year-old Patty Kalitsky. Friends have said that Lloyd was instantly smitten with Patty, and they were even said to be considering marriage. Okay, it's the 50s. People got married younger, but I was 16. Like, what the fuck? No.
Right. I had to pause there for a moment because he was 18 and
she was 16.
And then you said 16 and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just days into 1956, on January 2nd, the couple who were on a date were last seen at a drive-in restaurant just after 9 p.m. From there, they apparently parked at a lover's lane just west of Great Falls, near Wadsworth Park, where they lived in Montana. But they never came home. The Times reported that the teens' families assumed that they had eloped until 3 boys hiking near Sun River the following day came across a gruesome discovery.
No.
It was Lloyd's body. The young airman's car was still running and the lights and radio were on. He laid face down next to the car and his hands were bound behind his back with his own belt. He'd also been shot in the back of the head.
Oh, that's awful.
The following day, a Cascade County road worker stumbled upon Patty's body that was dumped off of a gravel road just north of Great Falls. She too had been shot and her body bore the injuries inflicted during a sexual assault. Investigators theorized that the killer fatally shot Lloyd before kidnapping Patty so that he could rape her. They didn't believe that the two were killed as part of a robbery since there was money in a camera found in the car. Few clues were initially found to lead investigators to a suspect. A man named Wendell Wallace Smith claimed to have killed the boy and the girl in Montana, but he was ruled out as a suspect by Great Falls investigators in 1964. In 1989, bullets were removed from a cottonwood tree near the spot where Lloyd's body was found, and investigators hoped that the bullets would be matched to a firearm. Unfortunately, that was just another dead end. But crazy that they pulled out bullets in 1989.
I was just
when it
thinking
happened
that.
in 1956. So.
That's I mean, science and forensics, that all fascinates me.
Right. Well, it's gonna get forensic-y.
I'm here for it.
So for more than 65 years, the case had remained unsolved. It had been theorized that Lloyd and Patty may have been the victims of Edward Wayne Edwards, who was convicted of a similar double murder in Ohio, Wisconsin, and was known to be in Great Falls in 1956. Edwards has died in prison in 2011, but he is believed to be responsible for the murder of at least one more couple in Oregon. So, I mean, it seemed like it fits, right?
Yeah, Edwards is a pretty prolific serial killer.
Yes. So over the next several decades, authorities would investigate, but clear nearly 36 suspects, including notorious gangster James Whitey Bulger, who had been charged with a rape in Great Falls 5 years before the murders, which I think is kind of crazy that they had him on their list of suspects. But
yeah, I was just thinking that as well.
according to the Tribune, now retired Detective Phil Madison sent a vaginal swab of Patty's autopsy to the Montana State Crime Lab in 2001, at which time technicians found a vital clue. There was one single sperm cell, which did not belong to Lloyd. Despite that find, the case remained unsolved when Madison retired. A lot of different people have had their turn at this, and we just weren't able to take it to a conclusion, Madison said. Detective Sergeant John Cadner was assigned to the case in 2012. This was his first cold case. A big break would come 6 years later.
Oh, wow.
When another case more than 1,000 miles away was solved, the arrest of Joseph James D'Angelo, the Golden State Killer, in April 2018. Detective Cadner said, "My first impression was that the only way we're ever going to solve this is through the use of DNA. The technique is that a genealogist plugs in a suspect or victim's DNA profile into a public genealogy database, and that allows them to reverse engineer a family tree to find the owner of the profile. They then investigate multiple branches of the tree to determine who would be a viable suspect in unsolved cases. Also, Autumn covered a very similarly solved case not that long ago. So listen to that episode because she covers that. That was a Seattle one.
Susan Galvin.
And that's the one. So if you want to hear more about that, please go back in your episodes. Back to mine. Detective Cadner began working in 2019 with the Bode technology, which conducted further testing on the semen taken from Patty's body. The genealogy process turned up 3 people genetically compatible with that sample.
Oh, wow.
One of which was a man named Kenneth Gould. The DNA was matched through a cousin of his. Now they had the arduous task of reverse building his family tree. Kenneth Gould lived with his wife and children in Great Falls around the time of the murders. A little over a month after the murders, Gould sold his family's property and moved his family, which included his 2-month-old daughter, out of Great Falls. After moving around for several months, they left the state and settled in Alton, Missouri in 1967. The investigators who tied Gould to the crime were unable to uncover any connection between him and the victims. He had no criminal history, nor any known connection to any other crime, but his DNA was a match. It felt great because for the first time in 65 years, we finally had a direction and a place to take the investigation, Detective Cadner told NPR, because it was all theories up to that point. We finally had a match and we had a name, and that changed the whole dynamic of the case. There was one issue, though.
Oh, was he dead?
In 2007, Kenneth Gould died and was cremated. The only way to prove he had committed this crime was to reach out to his relatives.
Gosh dang it.
So now the detectives had to make uncomfortable phone calls, letting family members know that Kenneth was a key suspect in a double homicide and rape.
Can you imagine?
No.
First of all, being the person to make those phone calls, that would be so awkward. But then receiving a phone call like that would blow my mind.
Well, and again, like I said, he had no criminal history. There was nothing about any of that that showed that this was something that he would. I mean, maybe he was not great. I don't know. I don't know him.
Right. But he didn't have a criminal history, so it wasn't like they were like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like Kenneth." Yeah.
So detectives traveled to Missouri, where they spoke to Gould's children and told them about the case. They asked for the family's help in either proving or disproving that Kenneth Gould was the man responsible, and the family complied. It was a definitive match. Most of the victims' family members have since died, but Detective Cadner was able to reach a few surviving relatives. They were very grateful for the closure, but it was a struggle to open old wounds, which is really sad.
That is really sad.
Yeah. The nature and circumstances of the crime ensured that investigators never forgot about the victims, even though many detectives had even yet to be born when Lloyd and Patty died. The investigators on this case poured their heart and soul into solving this, and the sheriff's office is now considering forming a cold case task force with special emphasis on using new technology to solve cases.
Wow, that's really awesome.
But now, Autumn, I hate to one-up you, but since this happened, this now makes the case of Lloyd Dwayne Bogle and Patty Klitsky the oldest case to be solved using forensic genealogy.
Oh, so Susan has been bumped down.
Yes, because this is 65 years old, and that was 52 years, I believe. So and this just broke, y'all. This just happened in mid-June when they found out this actual Kenneth Gould was the murderer. So this is like just hot off the press, less than a month.
Brand new development.
Brand new.
That's so cool.
Right? My sources were NPR, Cairo 7 News, and KRTV Great Falls. I just was like, when I came across this case a while back, but so I had revisited because it was on, I make a list of all the ones that I want to cover. And then I saw that there was an update. I think it was like June 10th or June 15th. And it said that it was solved, and I was shocked. So I was like, I have to cover this. And the fact that you just did one based on genealogy, and this is becoming a real thing
with familiar DNA.
Yes. So I was like, I have to cover this and one up Autumn for the oldest.
I mean, in this situation, I'm totally fine with being one-upped.
Exactly.
It brings closure to a much needed family.
It absolutely does. And, you know, I mean, 65 years went by and, you know, good on the fucking police department for never giving up on this case. It could easily have just stayed cold, but instead they kept trying and kept figuring out ways to, I mean, 1989, 2012, there was like over and over, they kept revisiting it. And thank God they did because they finally found the person that was responsible. Unfortunately, he'd already passed on, but you know, it's good to have some closure.
It bothers me when they die before they get their comeuppance.
Right?
That's just the easy way out. Die before you get to answer to the people that need their questions answered.
You know, I always wonder too, like, I mean, now that they have his DNA, maybe they'll match him to something else, unless this was like a one-time thing, which seems really strange.
Right.
But
And that's a great point because he had quite a long time to commit more murders. Susan Galvin's perpetrator died not too long after she did.
I almost wish that they just knew that we all know. Like you didn't get away with shit.
Right.
You know?
You may have passed, but we know your secrets.
Exactly. I do feel bad for the family because, you know, of course, this is brand new breaking news and it's all over everywhere. And they still live in that town in Missouri.
Ooh.
So now everybody knows their dad's a murderer. You know, I mean, that is tough, but at the same time, people need to know, you know, so it's a tough place to be.
And hopefully they're treated fairly because just because he did something horrible doesn't mean they
absolutely
would do something horrible.
Absolutely. And the detective elaborated on that, just saying how hard it was and that thank God they were compliant to give their DNA, you know, to be able to definitively say, yeah, absolutely, it was him that did it.
Right.
You know? And it was one single sperm cell.
I mean, what are the odds?
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. Anyway, that's the Montana double homicide.
I love that.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I love cold cases being solved like that.
I know you were like, you're going to hate mine. It's awful. And I was like, you're going to love mine. I know you will.
I feel like an asshole now.
Yeah. So looking forward to your asshole story, Autumn. God.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be told. It has to be told.
I know. That's why you're always adamant to do these ones, but it's heartbreaking.
Oh, it is so heartbreaking. You just wait.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, and we will be right back to hear Autumn's awful story.
Yes. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so on the quick break there, Autumn told me that this haunts her nightmares and now it needs to haunt mine. So on that note, kick it off, Autumn.
I love how you told on me. I'm like the best of the friends ever.
Someone needs to hold you accountable for your hauntings.
Well, I also said, I hope that it haunts all of our listeners so that this gets solved. So
True. Okay. So it's unsolved. You just gave it away. It's over. That's it. Recording done.
Done. Story done.
Okay. Now let's get sad and you know, strap in. Let's go.
Here we go. It's the disappearance of Sky Metalwala. I would just like to preference this with the fact that everyone is assumed innocent until proven guilty.
By Autumn and Erin on Murder Not Murdering.
Yes. So I just want to say that so no one comes at me for slander or whatnot, because
sure.
We don't know.
No, that makes sense.
So I just had to get that out there. Don't come at me.
Yeah.
And here we go. On the morning of November 6th, 2011, Julia Birakova put her two children, 4-year-old daughter Miley and 2-year-old son Sky, in her 1998 Acura Integra to take Sky to Overlake Hospital in Bellevue, Washington, as he had been sick. On the way, she stated she ran out of gas. She made the decision to leave Sky still strapped into his car seat in the car alone.
No.
While she and her daughter walked to the nearest gas station, a Chevron, about 1 mile away.
Oh my God. Why would she do that?
Honestly, that part right off the bat blows my mind.
Yeah. Never, ever would I, even if the baby's sleeping or anything, there's no fucking way I'd ever leave them.
2 years old, strapped into a car seat. I just,
no. And
I can't even.
By 2 years old, they're freaking ninjas and they can get themselves out of that stuff. I'm telling you.
Not only that, why you're leaving your toddler unsupervised on the side of the road?
Absolutely not.
That's just not, no.
That
no,
does
no,
not,
no.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It doesn't sit well with me from the very, very, very beginning.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And she took her 4-year-old. So why can't she take him?
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Not at all. When she reached the gas station about an hour later, she did not purchase any gas or ask anyone to help bring gas to her car. Instead, she called a friend and asked them to come pick her up and bring her back to her car. Once they arrived back at the car, Sky was nowhere to be found. First of all, I mean,
I'm irate already.
Yes, that's why I told you were not going to like this story. No. I don't like this story, but it's local and I just need to get it out. It's a hard one. It's hard. Julia calls the police and reports her son missing. Police come to where her car has been parked on the side of the road in the 2600 block of 112th Avenue Northeast in Bellevue, just on the other side of Interstate 520, where 520 meets Interstate 405. So
that's like a pretty busy area.
Yes, so a very busy area to break down.
Very busy area to break down and a very busy area to leave your fucking kid. Like,
yes. And there's so many residents around there. She could have easily have walked her children and herself to somebody's home who has to use the phone.
For sure.
They immediately start to doubt the story that Julia has provided to them, as the car was found to be in working order and was not out of gas.
Oh, so she's a fucking liar then. That's why you had to do your PSA at the beginning.
Yes. Okay. To me, at least, she's a fucking liar.
Yeah. No, I'm like livid right now.
Yes. The police place a call to Sky's father, Solomon Metalwala, just before noon to update him that his son is missing. Julia and Solomon were immigrants to the United States. Solomon from Pakistan and Julia was a Ukrainian born in Russia. The two of them met 3 years after Julia had moved to the U.S. in 1997 when she was 15, a student at Bellevue High School, and Solomon was 21 and owned and operated a convenience store. Solomon asked Julia to a party, and shortly after the two began dating. His family hired her to work at one of their restaurants in Pioneer Square, located in Seattle. In 1999, they purchased a Bellevue condo together. The couple married in 2003 in a small ceremony in Solomon's mother's kitchen. Julia has claimed that his family had given her an ultimatum to either marry him or never see him again, that he was facing deportation for reasons that have been never disclosed. And because she had become a naturalized citizen, marrying him would allow him to stay in the country. Julia and Solomon received a small loan from his parents to open up King Street Cafe in the Pioneer Street neighborhood of Seattle. It was doing very well for several years until a competing deli opened up next door and they began having financial difficulties. In 2005, Solomon converted to Christianity and began attending a Christian church in Kirkland, Washington. Julia believes her in-laws blamed her for his religious choice, and their relationship began to deteriorate, which causes issues in her marriage.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that would be really difficult with the family pressures.
Right. And if his family doesn't like her all
Already.
of a sudden, then it's going to definitely lead to problems between the two of them.
Yeah.
In 2007, Julia gave birth to their first child, a daughter they named Miley. Despite having financial difficulties and the hit of the recession in 2008, they purchased a $800,000 home in Kirkland.
Wow.
While still retaining their Bellevue condo and mortgage. So that's a lot of bills.
That's a lot of bills.
Fast forward to 2009. Julia gave birth to their second child, Sky Elijah Metalwala, and a lot of mental problems began to manifest themselves.
Okay.
Their home in Kirkland was foreclosed on, and they moved back into their Bellevue condo, very behind on all their bills.
Oh.
According to court documents, Solomon has claimed that this is when Julia started to obsessively clean. It was so bad that Solomon had to take him and his daughter out to eat and not eat in the home because Julia wouldn't allow them to create a mess.
Oh, that's really sad.
It's really sad.
For the kids and for her.
Yes. He also stated that he was sleeping on the floor to keep the bed clean after she would obsessively clean their bedroom. Their HOA cited them several times for noise complaints of Julia vacuuming at 11 p.m. or later.
Poor thing.
I know. For her part, she has stated it was during this time that Solomon became angry and controlling.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're just trying to find control in chaos,
Right. And
I can somewhat understand that. And, I just wish that, I don't know what their situation was, but if there was a way for her to have found, some help or therapist would have made all the world of a difference.
mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, all of that costs money.
Right. But she does find a little bit. We'll get into that. And it's just this is just the beginning of it. That
oh God, just the beginning.
The cleaning. I mean, so many articles, Erin, were like she literally couldn't even have food in the house because she was afraid of crumbs. Like when the children would eat, when she would eat, so they wouldn't even keep food in the home.
I mean, that's just difficult because that's just manic and stress for everyone.
Yes, for everyone.
So sad.
It's really sad. When Sky was 2 months old, Solomon and Julia left him in the car alone while they shopped in Target for almost an hour.
Wait.
It was only 27 degrees outside.
Wait, what?
Yes. So this was not the first time Sky was left in a car all alone, unattended on the side of the road. He also, at 2 months old, was left in a car by himself in 27-degree weather while they shopped at Target.
That is just crazy to me.
This is why I told you we're going to like it, because there's so much that pisses me off about this story. It's not even funny.
No, this makes me irate.
Like both of them at this point are shit parents, if you ask me. That is not okay. There's no excuse to leave your 2-month-old child in the car.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
No matter what the weather is.
No.
They were arrested and charged with reckless endangerment when the police paged the parents to the car upon discovering the child.
Oh my God.
They had told them he had fallen asleep and they didn't want to wake him.
Not an excuse.
I know. And that they were only gone 20 minutes.
1 minute is too long.
Security footage proved that to be false. And they were gone for about an hour.
Oh my God.
Now, this is super frustrating to me They agreed to take parenting classes and the charges were dropped.
I'm pissed.
Yes. Because
I
to
mean,
me,
there's so many children and babies that have died because people
because
leave their
people have left
fucking
them in
kids
the
in the
car.
car. I
Yes.
don't understand it. I don't know
No.
how you can forget your child. I don't know how you can make a conscious decision.
They made a
to
conscious
leave it.
decision for sure
To
to
leave
leave
them.
them in
That's not
there.
okay. It's just not
Nope.
fucking okay.
It's not. I don't care. I don't care. There is absolutely no excuse. Ever.
Mhm.
Ever. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
On Julia's 29th birthday in early 2010, she was committed for the first time to a mental hospital.
Okay.
She had told her husband that she had been dreaming of killing the children. While in the hospital, she was officially diagnosed with OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder,
Yeah.
which she later denied having been diagnosed with. The hospital did not find her unfit to parent, and shortly after her release, Solomon filed for divorce.
That makes sense.
And I don't know what the medical field did to test her, but
you know what though? If she was appearing well at the time, or even seemed like things were leveling out, you can see how they would want. I mean, ultimately, they want you to be back
right.
in your life.
That's
and
always
all of that.
that's always the goal of
Mhm.
any situation. They always want reunification with the family
Yeah.
and to keep a family together. I mean, I understand.
But
It's just
now
hindsight's
him,
2020.
sure, with him like filing for divorce, I'm sure this is going to set her off again, with like just having another stressful situation.
Yes. Julia was committed a second time shortly after their separation.
Yeah.
She had texted Solomon with threats of suicide and suicidal thoughts. She
Which
claimed,
I hope that he told her doctors.
He did. That's why she was committed.
Good.
She claimed that she only did that to get his attention. However, when she was in the hospital, she had been evaluated and received a score of 15 from the Global Assessment of Functioning test, which indicated that she was a threat to herself and a threat to others.
Oh.
The score did improve to 40, meaning a slight impairment by the time that she was released.
Okay.
Concerned for Julia, even though they were separated, Solomon and his brother brought Julia to the University of Washington Medical Center, where she voluntarily checked herself in to receive mental health care. It was while she was in their care that their condo in Bellevue was foreclosed on.
Oh,
and
man.
Solomon and the children moved into his parents' home in Kirkland. The parents that they don't really get along very well. The divorce was an ugly one. Julia accused Solomon of being abusive and that she was scared for her life. Solomon claimed that Julia's mental health issues made it impossible for her to care for their children. She was unable to keep food in the home and did not allow the children to sleep in beds due to her OCD cleaning obsession. Julia made a claim that Solomon had injured their daughter, and Child Protection Services were called in to investigate. During the year-long investigation, Solomon was not allowed to see his children. However, I know, heartbreaking. However, eventually,
unless he was an asshole and he did hurt his daughter, and then that'd be a whole nother thing.
Well, eventually CPS found the claim unfounded and dismissed the allegations against him.
Okay.
Throughout the divorce, they each filed protective orders against each other.
Those poor kids.
I know. It's
so
unfair. A road to
disaster. Yeah. This just sounds really unstable.
Mm-hmm. In September of 2010, despite her mental health issues, Julia was awarded full custody of the children. Solomon was not awarded visitation rights.
Whoa. So, I mean, she had to have something to make that happen. He had to have done something for the court to decide that.
There's no evidence of anything to keep him from his children.
That just seems really odd of why they would have award full custody without it being warranted.
Not anything that I could find.
Interesting.
Julia refused to let him see his children. He continued to fight for custody through the courts and disputes over property that the two still own together. Julia did offer to forgo any child support or alimony if Solomon would let her move to Arizona with the children. He did not agree.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that we'll never know what exactly was happening between the two of them.
Exactly.
But it sounds to me that these children were in the middle of it.
Yeah. It's just really, really sad.
It's very sad. And it's all too common with bitter divorces.
Sure.
This custody battle would span over 1 year. We are now to present day, November 2011. The courts had ordered the couple into a week-long mediation to resolve their issues. The mediation seemed successful. The couple agreed that Julia would have physical custody over both children, and Solomon would be granted full visitation rights.
Okay.
However, this would be very short-lived. On November 3rd, she called her lawyer, told her that she felt pressured into the agreement and wanted to back out, voiding the custody agreement that they had just come to in mediation.
That's really tough.
Really tough. Police asked Julia to recount the morning for them of November 6th. She told them that Sky had woken up very sick in their Redmond apartment that morning, and she was on the way to the hospital when she ran out of gas. She
didn't.
No, she didn't.
Sorry, I'm like, but she didn't.
No, she didn't. This is what she's telling them.
Yeah, it just makes me angry.
Oh, me too.
Go on.
She left him in the car, but took her daughter with her to walk to the gas station. She was gone for about 1.5 hours total, and when she returned to the car, Sky was missing. She did not have her purse, wallet, or cell phone on her, and no gas can was found in the car or to be purchased by Julia. A search of a 20-block radius was conducted at the time, going door to door and even bringing in dogs. No trace of Sky was found. The dogs only found the scent of Sky in the car, not outside the car or anywhere in the area.
Yeah, so he wasn't in the car.
Well, they found his scent in the car, so
yeah, but his scent would be on the car seat anyway.
Possibly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Detective Erin.
Yes, Detective Erin. They started to question Julia, and at that time, she invoked her Fifth Amendment rights and refused to take a lie detector test.
How frustrating.
Well, personally, I would never take a lie detector test either.
Sure, but
proven to be inconclusive and not very accurate and can sway an investigation one way or another.
Frustrating that she's now refusing, though, to work with them.
Yes, refusing to work with them.
To find her son.
Yes.
Yeah.
She did agree for them to search her car, home, and computer. They asked her to come to the station to be questioned, but her lawyer shows up before they can begin questioning and ends any sort of interview before it can be started. They bring in Solomon, who is very cooperative with investigators, and he does agree to a lie detector test. His results were inconclusive.
Yeah.
Authorities
often are.
Right. Authorities have stated they suspect this is due to him being under stress.
Sure.
He did take a second test, but the state, his attorney, nor him have released the results to the public. However, both parents have confessed to leaving both children alone for extended periods of time, and the police were made aware of the 2009 Target incident. I know. The police searched Julia's home and Solomon's home, but nothing of importance is found at either home. Julia being an obsessive cleaner, her home was found exactly how everyone expected. Spotless.
Immaculate.
Mm-hmm. They conduct a thorough search on the car. It has 2.2 gallons of gas, and they have no issue getting the car to turn over. They can literally find nothing mechanically wrong with the vehicle at all. Motorists who had passed the abandoned car saw nothing of concern. Not a single one reported seeing a child in the car.
Yeah, and you would have noticed. And also, how does a 2-year-old get the doors open and all that?
The doors out of his car seat. I mean, everything. All of these questions.
Yes.
Police are now questioning if Sky was ever in the car at all that day.
See, Detective Erin strikes again.
Right. The evidence of the dogs only picking up on his scent in the car and not outside the vehicle was suspicious. This could mean that someone pulled up next to the unlocked car and transferred the toddler from one car to another, reducing the scent trail, or that he was never in there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
His 4-year-old sister has stated that Sky was in the car with them that day.
Oh.
However, she is 4 years old and not really a reliable witness.
Sure. And parents could always, I mean,
she doesn't know what day it is or when.
No, but easily they could have been like, you either do that or I take away something, or you know what I mean? Like,
well, anything, but she could also just be confused.
Sure. But you can't really, you can't use her as a reliable witness.
No, she's far too young.
She's a baby.
Mm-hmm. Solomon realizes that no one has an account of seeing Sky outside of Julia and their daughter since April of 2011.
Oh my God.
When Sky was taken to see his doctor. So think about that.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it.
Solomon hasn't seen his son because of the whole custody battle.
Sure.
And then no one else outside of Julia and their daughter has seen him since April of 2011.
That is so
It's a long time. That's a very long time.
Very long time.
Yes. Detectives also find that in the last few months, there are pictures of her daughter all over. I was
just about to say, were there pictures of him?
Yeah, pictures of her daughter all over her social media, but not a single picture of Sky.
I don't like that at all.
She was also on a dating website, seekingarrangements.com, which is basically a sugar daddy website. Older, wealthy men looking for a relationship with younger women who they would in return support financially.
Oh, wow.
She had stated on her profile that she was looking for her financial stability and $3,000 to $5,000 a month.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if somebody wanted to give me $3,000 to $5,000.
I mean, she was single, so she could be on any dating website she wants.
Sure. No shame in that game.
They found that on her computer when they did the search.
Yeah. But they're still, again, they didn't find any pictures of Sky, and that's freaking me out.
No pictures of Sky.
You do. I mean, you constantly take pictures of your kids, so I don't understand it.
No, and
I have like 5,000 pictures of my fucking dogs and cat and child. Like, you take pictures daily. You would see him in the background of her daughter's photos.
I just don't understand why you would just be posting just your daughter's photos anyway.
Well, because he wasn't there is what my suspicion is.
That's how I feel too. The police have stated publicly they do not believe her story.
Yeah.
However, they have never charged her with any crime in connection to Sky's disappearance. Solomon has elaborated a little on why this might be. If they charge her with any crime, Julia and her lawyer will be able to review any evidence that they have gathered. And at this time, they did not want her to be able to do that. Yeah,
they don't have enough to right now.
Mm-hmm. Here are a few theories that are circulating about the case.
Sure.
Solomon believes that his son is alive. In the spring of 2011, after the doctor visit, Julia's estranged father came to visit her from Ukraine. He believes it is possible that he took the child back to Ukraine with him at that time to keep Solomon from being able to see him.
Well, and if she has full custody, she could just send a notarized letter and that could happen.
Although in 2013, he told media that after thinking more on that theory, he's not sure how he could have taken him out of the country without any record of him doing so.
Yeah, you'd have to get a passport and then you would see like customs, all of that.
Right. There'd be some
There'd
sort
be a
of
trail.
paper trail because this isn't the 90s or the 80s. This is 2011.
Yeah. Yeah. To travel outside of the country, you have to have a notarized letter. And you would also, which again, you have a paper trail there. And then you also have to have, because I took Lucy to Spain when she was 1.
Right.
And, you know, I was there with my sister. So Josh wasn't with me. So I know that you have to do that. There'd be a paper trail and you'd have a picture of the passport at customs. I mean,
They were just, yes.
you would know. You would know unless they've found a way around it, which I feel like is really hard these days.
Right. And that's probably part of a parent hoping
Sure.
that he's somewhere safe.
Yeah, of course.
Solomon's attorney has spoken publicly that she does not share the same theory as her client, that he does not like when she says it out loud, but that she believes that Sky is no longer alive.
Yeah.
That they were unable to find any evidence in her apartment because of her OCD in regards to how clean she keeps her home.
Mm-hmm.
That she uses bleach very commonly.
Yeah.
However, she believes it was due to negligence and not intentional murder.
I mean, that could very well be.
Mm-hmm. Miley was removed from Julia's home and placed in the foster care system following the disappearance of her brother.
Poor sweet baby.
I know. Solomon was allowed twice weekly visitation with his daughter while the divorce and custody agreement was being finalized. The divorce was finalized in January of 2012, and Solomon was granted full custody of his daughter.
Okay.
So there has to be evidence that he's fit to raise her for them to be
for them to allow this.
Mm-hmm, and not just keep her in the foster system.
Sure.
In 2015, on the 4th anniversary of Sky's disappearance, Bellevue Police Chief Steve Milet made a public plea to Julia in the local newspaper to speak to them again, stating, "I am convinced you hold the key to finding Sky."
Yeah, 100%.
Around the 4th anniversary, Julia had been remarried for about a year and had an infant child that DSHS was actively trying to remove from her home.
Jesus Christ.
In 2015, DSHS was most concerned about Julia's mental health, giving her OCD diagnosis and past hospitalizations following a complaint from the person who delivered her child.
Oh my God.
They also found the father, Alan Morgan, a convicted felon, problematic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Authorities of Florida had taken a child from his home there.
Okay, so another negligent kind of thing. I really truly wonder if there's like postpartum going on as well.
Right. I mean, there has to be something.
Yeah.
The month the two were married, Julia reported him to the police in Redmond for allegedly assaulting her and got a no contact order. But that didn't keep her from visiting him regularly in jail, where he is in Issaquah.
Abuse is a sad cycle.
I know. And he was there when she gave birth under assumed names. Both claimed,
nice.
I know. Both claimed to investigators they did not live together, despite giving them the same address. Okay. Julia said at one point she did not even know who the father was, even though his name was on the child's birth certificate.
Was it his name or the name he used when he went to the hospital?
It was his name, apparently.
Like,
I know
right.
it's kind of confusing.
This whole thing is making me so angry.
Oh, I know.
The whole time.
I told you.
I know. You warned me.
In February 2019, Julia Morgan, formerly Birakova, testified in court again, accusing Alan Morgan of violating a no contact order. She acknowledged that she was not allowed to be alone with her new son without an observer present. Bellevue Police spokesman Seth Tyler said, "We do believe she knows where Sky is." She refused to talk to the press after the court appearance. To date, of the recording of this podcast, Sky Metalwala has been missing for 9 years, 8 months, and 19 days. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Sky or details of what may have happened to him, please call Bellevue Police at 425-452-2564 or email at pdtipline@bellevuewa.gov. We will also have pictures of him at the time of his disappearance, as well as age progression pictures on our Instagram, Murder Not Murdering. My sources were Wikipedia, Generation Y Podcast, King 5 News, Seattle Times, Como 4 News, and Reddit. So what do you think happened to Sky?
Oh, I think Julia is fucking guilty as shit.
That's exactly how I feel. And that's why I had to preface the episode with guilt, innocent until proven guilty. However, this stinks of lies and cover-ups. In my
professional detectiveness that I am, from the very beginning, it was like, no. I'm sure. I feel it in my bones.
Right. That there's something terribly wrong with that story.
Yes. And clearly there was a history of neglect and all of that. It does,
and mental health. And we have the utmost, what's the word I'm looking
sympathy?
For? Yes. We have the utmost sympathy for people with mental health issues, postpartum depression, all of that.
And 100% we believe in therapy, and that, if you are feeling like you're having any kind of thoughts or you feel like you need help, please seek help. There's nothing that's shameful or nothing that's wrong about doing that. It's incredibly important.
And it seems to me, she was admitted 3 times. So she was seeking help, but there's a disconnect there.
Maybe there wasn't enough follow-up, or our health system is garbage, but that's another podcast.
When I was reading through some of the theories, on Reddit and whatnot, people were like, well, during the week-long mediation that these parents were going through, and they were extended meetings, and they weren't like they are now, you could do them over Zoom or whatnot. Where were the kids?
Yeah.
Because she and Solomon have admitted to leaving them alone for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
So it's like, if there was no babysitter watching these children, it could have happened. Or his parents. It could have happened during
Were
that
they
time.
in the car? I mean,
we don't know. Solomon hadn't seen his children in over a year at that point. So he didn't have eyes on these kids. I don't think he's innocent in the parenting department for leaving his child in the car. That is not okay.
No.
But I truly don't think he's involved in the disappearance. I think something tragic had happened.
He hadn't seen his son. And if that were the case, Julia would have gone to the police right away.
Right away.
So the thing that gets me, though, is the lack of photos. I know that sounds crazy, but mamarazzis are insane. And we take 1,000 photos of our fucking kids. And
if you're taking them of one, why not the other?
Well, and like I said before, if you have a 2-year-old, they're never sitting still. So if she's taking pictures of her daughter, then you're going to see the other one in photos.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
You'll see him running around in the background of photos or something. There would be at least a snippet or piece, or, I'm sure she did videos. You would have heard him.
Right.
There would have been something. And I think she for sure knows something.
Yes, she absolutely knows. Absolutely knows.
I really hope that, I understand why you did it, because it's important to get the word out there, and hopefully somehow, some way it reaches someone that knows something.
And I was talking to Dustin, and I was telling him, some people sometimes don't know they know something.
Sure.
They have no idea that they have missing piece
It'll
to
just
something.
jog somebody's memory.
Right. Like they
The more
saw
it gets,
something, they know
yeah,
something, they know someone said something.
the
There's
more it gets
someone
spread around.
out there that knows what happened to this little boy.
Yeah.
And I also want
And
to
her
say,
name is Julia.
yes, and the police have said that as well.
Yeah.
And I also want to thank Dustin's brother's girlfriend, Heather, for suggesting this story to me. I brought up all those memories when she mentioned it. And I was like,
Mhm.
that's right. He hasn't been found.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this one, but I didn't remember any of the details of it. I just remember them like being on the news and saying they were
Mhm.
looking for a missing child.
Right. It was a big deal.
Jesus, I am
this still
just
hasn't been found.
beside myself on that one.
I know. I knew you weren't going to like it. It did involve kids, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, we just don't know what happened to him.
Yeah. I mean, we have our suspicions.
Yes, we have our
Julia.
suspicions, Julia. And we would love it if you would talk to the police like they have asked you to.
I mean, honestly, that like obviously I'm not a murderer, but I feel like
We
if
promise.
we promise. But I mean, I feel like there is a bit of, you would think there'd be remorse or there would be like it would eat you up
Freaking
inside
child.
until you would confess. But I guess that's the reason why I'm not a murderer because
Right. And
I would
honestly,
feel that I had to say something.
I feel the same way as you. I mean, if you killed a random human, maybe you could hold it in a lot longer without that aching regret.
Well,
but this is a piece of you.
Also, look at, I mean, yes, but I mean, speaking of, I mean, Kenneth Gould went to his fucking grave
without saying shit.
And 65 years later is when we found out about that one.
Right.
It's just, I just don't understand. I mean, that's again why I'm not a murderer because I just don't get it. It just makes me so upset. And in this one, especially with it being a child,
2-year-old little boy.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever in the car. That
No.
happened. She was just trying to. If you haven't seen photos of him,
what a weird story to concoct, saying that your car's out of. If you're gonna have
also you're not very smart because you don't had gas in the car. You had a way to get to the gas station.
Yes.
And why wouldn't you have your cell phone? I mean, even in that day and age, in this day and age,
even if you were on the way, right? Even if you were on the way to the hospital with your sick child, she claimed to have forgotten her purse, her cell phone, everything. And it's kind of like,
I mean, if you're that panicked that you had to run out without your phone, without your purse, which means you don't have his insurance information, you don't have any of that. Then if you were that panicked, then why didn't you just call an ambulance?
Right. That's a great point. Or when you supposedly, allegedly lie about running out of gas, why didn't you run to one of the neighbors that are clearly on that street and knock on their door?
Highway. You could have easily stood outside and flagged down another driver. You could have done. I mean, we know that area and it is busy.
Yes. And not to sound super sexist, but as a woman with a child, someone's going to stop for you.
Someone will stop for you.
A woman with a child, someone is going to stop for you, whether it be a man that has sympathy or a fellow mother or a fellow woman. Someone is going to stop for you.
Or as if, like you said, if you went to a door, someone is most likely to feel more comfortable either opening the door or like everybody has Ring cameras and stuff like that. They could have called the police for you.
Right.
Or something.
Something could have happened. They could have called an ambulance. They could have called the police for you. You didn't have to. Yes. So the story just doesn't add up. The police don't believe it. I don't believe it. You don't believe it.
I mean, if we don't believe it, it's not real.
Right. Here at Murder Not Murdering, we are professional detectives.
We aren't just full on letting you know we are not professional detectives. We just think like them.
Yes. We're very smart. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
But this case is just made up of the stuff of nightmares where you could just think on it all night. And I truly hope that they find him.
I do too. And this, I mean, I doubt it, but I really hope that there's something, or that he is like living a life in the Ukraine or something.
Right. Or with a family member secretly somewhere, or she gave him to someone else. Or
the problem with that theory to me is just that if that were the case, then she would have also sent her daughter.
Right.
You wouldn't have
yeah.
you wouldn't have been like, let's save that one, but not this one. That's just not how things are that's not how it would have gone.
Mhm.
So yeah, God damn it, Autumn. That one just,
I know it sticks with you, but
yeah.
I'm truly, truly hoping that our tiny little podcast will reach somebody somewhere that knows something.
I mean, the good news is a lot of our listeners are in Washington State.
Mhm.
And, you know, who knows? Who knows? You can't say that you're not going to, you know, jog somebody's memory or something.
Right. You
Or
just
even
never
just
know.
algorithms and things just start spreading it a little bit more, you know, or the Instagram or something.
Right. You just never know.
It's so heartbreaking.
I know. I'm sorry.
So now I'm just going to go for the next couple days, just obsessively thinking about this. Thanks again, Autumn.
You're welcome. I looked at all of his pictures and the progression pictures, and I'm like, do I know this kid?
Right? Oh,
I just had to.
Yeah,
And
no,
he
I
was such a
understand
little
why.
cutie too. Oh, he was so cute.
Yeah, I understand why. You know, you just want to get the information out there, especially with it being unsolved. But Jesus. So today I did a solved mystery and you have an unsolved one.
I know.
All right. Well, on this sad note, we're going to leave everybody. Make sure to look at our
Until
Instagram.
next time.
Until next time, make sure to go to our Instagram or our website. And again, if you have story ideas, please email us at info@murdernotmurdering.com, or you can DM us on social media, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.